Vols are back.
Yeah, they had us the first half, I'm not going to lie.
Oh, could be Wayne!
I think I got my swagger back. Oh!
I love it, baby!
Them orange britches. Something about them orange britches.
Tennessee wins! Brought by Tennessee, Jawan Jennings. Jennings makes the catch.
Ball hit high in the air into right field. Going back is Sayre. And Tennessee can say hello win column. A grand slam in the bottom of the ninth. You can't draw it up any better.
We just won a basketball game, and we're very happy right now. I made up my mind. I don't expect to ever look back. I'm going to stay at the University of Tennessee.
Reddit to do, and welcome into More Important Issues. It is Thursday, October 6th, and we are about to hit the road dogs, to Baton Rouge, Louisiana.
Calling them.
We're going to hold that tiger. Ed Orgeron does not know what he got himself into with that phrase. They're about to be held bad. Held down. They had to tweet.
But no penalty flags.
None. They had to tweet a video about the 3 or 4, maybe 6, 11 a.m. wins they've had since like 2000 to feel better about Saturday. Landon, they're scared.
Oh, yeah.
They're shaking in those purple, ugly boots of theirs.
It's the same people that were furious when they announced it was 11 o'clock, too, posting those 11 o'clock wins over
Utah State.
nobody. Yeah, nobody. Who they beaten? Nobody.
They ain't played nobody, Paul.
They ain't.
Dude, I'm so fired up. I love that so much of All Nation's already down there. Seen a lot of people that were either heading out tonight and or tomorrow morning, like this fine crew right here, heading out early in the morning. We'll see you guys down there. Let us know where you'll be Friday night, maybe. Saturday for sure. I feel good. And I was asked today, how do you feel about the game? It's kind of like Florida. My head tells me I feel great. My heart is ready to be broken again. It's the natural, I think, just Vol method, except opposite than usual. But yeah, I can't wait. I love Dayton, Death Valley, 2 top 25 teams. SEC football just doesn't get better than this. Maybe a little bit better. It's night games, but I think it does work better for Tennessee. We'll talk LSU. Talk a little bit of Smokey Gray Unis. That's happening. SEC baseball, fall ball's underway. Game this weekend. We'll do some college football preview. I didn't even do locks. I'm going to be honest. I'm sorry. Is Dylan coming on tonight? I didn't prepare locks.
No, I figure we're just not even doing locks anymore.
Perfect.
That's just
perfect.
Screw it.
I'll probably win this week.
Yeah, that's what we're trying to rewrite the script.
Yeah, flip it a little bit. I like it.
Yeah.
So preview that, and then, of course, our segments. Guys, hop in here, ask some questions. Tell us where you're going to be Friday night, Saturday night, or Saturday morning, whatever. We're going to jump. We're going to tailgate hop. We're not doing one this week. I mean, we thought about 11 a.m. Listen, I think let's just talk LSU. Let's talk Death Valley. Let's talk Tiger Stadium. Mike the Tiger, you suck. I'm going to start out with that. Smokey is a way better live mascot than Mike the Tiger.
Tigers in Louisiana? That's the dumbest thing I've ever
lazy.
seen.
Yeah. Tigers wait for their food to come to them. They don't hunt. They're not dogs.
Mm-hmm.
No one goes, he's got that tiger in him. No one.
Dogs don't raise cats.
That's a good point. People forget. It's a feline. People forget.
Cat.
But the 11 a.m., it kind of makes me mad that I feel so good about 11 a.m. start, if you will. Tennessee hasn't had one this season. That's weird. 4 games in. You have a Thursday night game, and then you have a night game against Akron.
Yeah.
That worries me a little bit. Or maybe it gets them fired up. It's a little new routine, something you haven't done yet.
About a year ago, this team went down to Como, Missouri for an 11 a.m. local time kickoff and scored 62 all over another Tiger team. So,
does this offense run better in the heat?
I'm just saying.
It's a good point. It's a good point, Landon. I like it. Again,
mean, I don't know if it was hot in Missouri, but I'm just saying I like it.
Yeah. Do
I
we
mean,
see
if we're going to sit here and post all the wins that LSU's gotten at 11 o'clock, we can post ours.
We'll post ours. How about this? We'll post
practices in the morning.
How about this? We'll post ours Saturday about 4 p.m. local.
Yeah, 11 a.m. is basically a 3:30 game for this team.
Yeah, we do have a 3:30 win, and maybe get another next week. We won't look ahead. And hey, I'll say this, just kind of talking like actual game stuff. I know we want to talk about because Tennessee looks better and those other teams look quote unquote beatable. This is Tennessee's most important game. You want to go? Well, yeah. You want to go 10-2. You got to win this one. You want to finish second in the East. You got to win this one. You want to kind of keep your season rolling. You got to win this one. This, in my opinion, is Tennessee's. We start the schedule and we do like schedule previews and we look at all these matchups and which one's going to be the quote unquote most important. This is your linchpin game. This determines, in my opinion, the rest of the season. Not next week, not November 5th. This one.
Yeah, this LSU team, like on paper, it's like Tennessee should win this game by more than 3 points. I don't love the line. It's kind of worrying me a little bit. And it is the battered ball syndrome. LSU does not look great. They beat a deadbeat Auburn team and was down 17-0 at one point. They beat Mississippi State, who, congrats on their great win over Texas A&M. They're an average team, and LSU was down 13-0 in that game. LSU does not start fast. I think Tennessee is going to start fast. I think they've learned from Pitt and Florida, hopefully, that, hey, when we get up, foot on the gas. We're not sweating out another win anymore.
Yeah,
hashtag dominate.
You talk about how LSU started. I will note how they finished. I said they didn't quote unquote like lose that FSU game. They had no reason to win it, but they did keep themselves in it in the fourth quarter, even with their mistakes.
They did lose it.
So I just don't think they were in a position to lose. I think they just sucked the whole game. Is what I mean.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's fair.
Like I don't think they lost the game. It wasn't the extra point, blocked extra point, missed. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, no, I agree with that.
They did win the second half against Auburn. Talk about a crucial third quarter, because I do think Tennessee is going to start fast like they have. I think Hendon Hooker in that Florida game finally got to see a moment of him get settled in the first quarter. This third quarter, is it Shane Beamer, is this the most important third and fourth quarter of the year? Probably. Yeah, I think I think Tennessee's definitely the better team. I will give credit to LSU, even though you can't look at who Tennessee's played and go, oh, they haven't played anybody, and then pretend LSU has. But their defense is averaging, I think, 19 points a game being scored on them. Tennessee's only given up, I think it's average like 25, 27, something like that.
Yeah, it's not a lot. Yeah.
Tennessee's averaging, oh God, what is it? What are they scoring per game?
Tennessee?
Yeah, it's ridiculous because of Ball State and Akron. I just can't remember the number now.
48.5, and then which
is the most in the SEC, 19, by the way.
Averaging 19 points per game.
Yeah, so like something's got to give a little bit, like.
Yeah.
But I think Tennessee's the better football team. I don't think there's anything you can convince me that they're not. I don't care if Jaden Daniels starts tomorrow. I don't care. Or Saturday, excuse me. I don't care. Tennessee's a better football team.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, he's a mobile quarterback, and I think that's something to watch, but he's also been knocked out of the past 2 games because they run him more than they run the running backs. I mean, he's their only rush threat. I mean, John Emery is, had a couple of touchdowns here and there, but the offense runs through Jaden Daniels. And he's been really inconsistent passing the football, especially vertically down the field. Some would say he might be vertically challenged.
We don't use that term here.
But I mean, are they just going to continue to run him until he's no longer able to play for him? That's my question.
Well, but Brian Kelly doesn't care about students' lives. That's been proven
Good
in the
point.
past.
That's also a good point.
Yeah, that's been proven. People forget he killed a kid at Notre Dame. Yeah,
Great hire, LSU. We got to do one every episode. Good for them.
yeah.
And if he doesn't work out, I heard there's a great guy in Jonesboro, Arkansas right now coaching a football team up that would be perfect for LSU.
He would be a great hire for LSU, and he usually follows Brian Kelly.
He does.
And that's the thing about Jaden Daniels too is, and I think a lot of people want to look at the Florida game and write off Tennessee's defense. Not that Tennessee's defense has played a lot better than Florida, but that was by far their worst game. That wasn't the normal. And I think it did expose some of Tennessee's difficulties. But the more I've kind of thought about it and sat on it, I put a little bit, and I think it can't always be on the players. It can't always be on the coach. I shouldn't say that, but it's usually like a split effort of blame or praise to go around. I think Tim Banks didn't put that defense in the best position to succeed against Florida. I think these defensive backs, they are what they are, but they played a lot better against Pitt when you had linebackers blitzing, when your edge rushers did a better job of getting to the quarterback quicker. Now, a little bit of that credit goes to Anthony Richardson. I won't deny that, even though I don't think he's a Heisman candidate. Sorry, he's not a Heisman candidate. I just think Tennessee is not as bad as Florida made them out to be. Tennessee's defense.
Yeah, and I've talked to a lot of people about this week, and I wish I had another game in between this Florida and LSU game to kind of base my thoughts on these DBs. I wish they had a game to kind of redeem themselves a little bit. Hopefully, this is that game.
There's not a better time than 11 a.m. in Baton Rouge, Louisiana.
Right. Absolutely. But yeah, I mean, they're downright terrible against Florida. I mean, there's no doubt in that. I think that is probably the worst game that they could possibly play, honestly. Missing tackles, missed assignments, blown coverages. You know, they just need to tighten up their coverage. Tennessee's at its best when they are aggressive, like they were against Pitt. And if you're not going to be aggressive, you're just going to sit back there and let a quarterback throw. I mean, these are college quarterbacks. They're here for a reason.
And I would say between Keaton Slovis, Anthony Richardson, and Jaden Daniels is probably the least talented of the three, if that wants to give you a little bit of hope.
Oh, throwing the ball, no doubt. No doubt.
I think as a full quarterback, that's throwing the ball is a big portion of that, so that hurts him. But yeah, I would say just
he might be a little better than Patty from Pitt.
Not he's not better than Patty injured.
No.
That kid played with a broken ankle and maybe a complete leg. I mean, he Tim Tebow'd us.
But the fact that they have Keyshawn Boutte and he has less than 100 yards on the year so far. I mean, we talk about there's not a better time than to redeem themselves, with our defensive backs. There's not a better time for him to have a coming out party against Tennessee, right?
I mean, when you look at it, if you're him, I mean, and you see the defensive backs on film, you're foaming at the mouth a little bit, ready to get after it.
And you see, I mean, there's a lot of talent on that LSU roster. They haven't utilized it. They're super inconsistent, and that's what worries me a little bit. Is like you haven't seen them probably to their full potential.
You haven't. I agree that roster.
But does it exist?
Talented.
Is a fair question too.
Right, and I think that's part of it. And I've said this since Brian Kelly's gone to LSU. Brian Kelly is a good football coach. Period. I mean, he's won ball games. Like, you can't deny that. But is he good enough, number one, to play an SEC schedule? No matter. I mean, because talent obviously matters, but and I know a lot of the talent at A&M is young right now. But I mean, look at Jimbo Fisher at A&M. Sometimes it takes kind of the right guys to more than just raw talent. Obviously, the right guys have to be talented. Does Jimbo have the right guys to, like you said, reach that full potential? They're not playing to their full potential. Mm-hmm. Now, where does that? What is it going to take to get it out of them? I hope not an 11 a.m. start against Tennessee.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll see. I mean, again, I just don't see how, it's a top 25 matchup. But I did hear from an LSU fan this week is like, oh, y'all are complaining about that Auburn win. That's what got us ranked. That's what you're bragging about? You're bragging about beating a deadbeat Auburn team where if they didn't have a freaking shoe as their coach and Brian Harsin, they win that game pretty easily.
Brian Harsin is out back right now with a broken leg. And the only reason he hasn't been shot yet by the farmer is because the farmer's wife is begging him not to because that's their favorite horse. He's dead. He's dead.
Yeah.
Also, Tennessee fans are not mad about LSU. That's a top 25 win for us. The F you
Right.
mean? We're just confused, and rightfully so.
Yeah, 100%. How are you down 17-0 to Auburn? Now, again, they did. You got to give them credit. They did come back and win. But still, even a 21-17 win, no matter how you did it, you did it. So, I mean, you are who you are.
No, for sure. And I think, too, kind of going back into LSU is a better football team than probably what they've showed to this point. They still have to show it to be that. I don't think enough people I don't think enough people are giving credit that this Tennessee football team is good.
Mm-hmm.
That is what's a little frustrating. I'm not denying LSU is good, and I think this is gonna be another dogfight. It's an important game. LSU's underdogs. It's at LSU. That team's probably pissed off because Tennessee has been talked about more than this LSU team. People are ready to write off LSU if Jaden Daniels doesn't start. They are. I'm not ready to write them off before, but that's got to be a little frustrating.
Yeah.
So there is an element of LSU could play their best game next week very easily, or this week, excuse me, very easily. We haven't seen Tennessee's best game yet.
That's a good point, yeah. Tennessee hasn't, against a quality opponent, they haven't played a full game.
No. And so I just think I do think it's a little bit about how good LSU will play, but I think too many people are forgetting that Tennessee hasn't played a great 4 quarters, like you said, against Pitt and Florida. They have not played a great 4 quarters. So this has the ability to get out of hand quick. And one thing that Tennessee's offense, if Tennessee's offensive front plays one of their best games this year, there's zero doubt in my mind that Tennessee wins this ball game. I think a lot of it is on what you do to that. Really, just B.J. Ojulari and excuse me, what's the guy on the other side?
Who cares?
Very talented. He is. What'd you say?
I said, who cares?
Well, he's not B.J. Ojulari,
right?
But he's that guy that we talked about. Derek Barnett had Corey Vereen.
Mm-hmm.
Corey Vereen wasn't Derek Barnett, but is Derek Barnett without Corey Vereen?
Yeah, I mean they definitely have some talent in that front seven. I mean they're giving up. They ain't giving up hardly anything on the ground. But here's the thing: they gave up 337 yards to a freshman and Robbie Ashford for Auburn. If he's doing that to that defense, Hendon Hooker, you ever heard of him? I mean, he's going to light it up. And I think Tennessee wants to be a little bit more balanced in this game. But if you're going to sit there and just take away the run,
take what they give you.
Yeah, well, I mean, we're more than happy to light up the skies.
Especially because, like you said, their front seven is who they are, but they're defensive backs.
Yeah, and
they've been as big of a liability as Tennessee's just about.
Right. They've got 16 sacks on the year. That's usually how they're getting takeaways. I like what you said, how Tennessee's offensive front has their best game. There's no doubt that we win this game, 100%. I feel like that's the only way Tennessee loses the turnover battle is if they're able to get to Hendon Hooker.
Yeah, and even then, Hendon Hooker is still in the equation.
Yeah, and if it's tied, like the turnover margin is tied, or maybe you're losing it. Hey, just punt because they can't field a punt to save their life.
General Nealon.
Yeah, I mean, I would rather have Elijah Simmons back there catching a punt.
I don't hate that strategy. I'm a special teams guy.
Holy
I don't hate
crap!
It's a good point. Especially, this LSU offense has been the opposite of impressive.
Mm-hmm.
Now the danger of that is Florida's had been too. Anthony Richardson hadn't thrown a touchdown. That's another point. How does LSU attack fourth down? Do they try to get ahead early on fourth downs? Or do they save I got to think Tennessee's better on 3rd and 4th down this week. Am I wrong?
Yeah, you got to be. You got to get off the field somehow, some way. I think that comes with playing tighter coverage. Playing with some confidence. Hopefully this off week they've gotten some confidence, gotten prepared for this week. There's no doubt, like Keyshawn Boutte and that wide receiver core is pretty good.
Yeah,
but they just haven't been able to put it together for some reason. Have
I
some
can tell you the
confidence
reason.
about you. Yeah.
I can tell you the reason. But that's another
Well,
thing.
their
though.
offensive line isn't good either.
No, they're not. But that's the thing, though. If you allow them to throw the short, quick stuff, your offensive line doesn't have to be good.
Mm-hmm. And Tim Banks was dialing up on 1st and 2nd down against Florida. You couldn't ask for anything better. But on 3rd and 4th down, that's when everything just went to crap. So,
and those are the downs you really got to sell out on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Especially when you're ahead of the chains. It was frustrating to see Florida get 3rd and 8 and then get to 4th and 2, 4th and 1 and be able to convert. When you're ahead of the downs, man, you got to attack.
Mm-hmm.
I want to see more Aaron Beasley this week, man. We did not see enough of him against Florida, in my opinion.
Yeah. I think it's a big game for the linebackers in general. A lot of them are see ball, go get ball, and that's when they're at their best. They do play a lot of, they do throw it to their tight ends and running backs quite a bit. So that's something to look out for. But, Jaden Daniels, that's your key.
Can I float something out there that just popped in my head? So if you want to go, Caleb, you're an idiot. That's totally fine. It literally just popped in my head, and I'm just going to say it. If our nickel is so much of a liability like he was against Florida, do we have the package where we can just go 3 backers and be physical up front?
Yeah, I do think they have that package where Elijah Herring comes in.
Well, I mean, even then, like, if you want Juwan Mitchell on the field, so be it. But can we get Aaron Beasley on the field in those important downs?
You. Fourth downs, put another linebacker. 4th and short, put a linebacker in.
Okay.
There's just no. I get the 7-on-7 and the quarterback's throwing the offenses has taken away a lot of the 4-3s, but I'd rather have a tackling machine out there than a guy that's out there to defend a pass.
Yeah. Okay. I probably should have thought of that earlier. Probably while I was watching the Florida game.
Mm-hmm.
Just especially when you have.
Well, I think it comes down to switching it up, like
that too. But when you have a guy that's willing to run, I mean, like you said, get someone who can tackle out there. And maybe he just gets beat with speed. Maybe he does. But get somebody in there who has a chance at making a play.
Yeah,
I think is the kind of my point. No, I think it comes down to Tim Banks. You mentioned it. He's got to be aggressive this week. I think this game is really. This could be. A game like this could be a moneymaker for Tim Banks. But he's got to go out and put his guys in good positions. I didn't feel like he put his guys in a lot of good positions against Florida. And I think when they were in good positions, they didn't always make the play. But that's something we can talk about after if Tim Banks calls a good game. And I just didn't feel like it was an all-around good game.
Yeah, and I need to see more from the pass rush too. I think you're getting kind of good push up there, and you're getting a lot of quarterback hurries, I guess, but you're not getting home. I mean, the fact that Tyler Barron and Byron Young each just have 1 sack on the year is pretty surprising to me. So I'd like to see more out of those two guys. If they're not getting it done, Joshua Joseph, man, every time he steps on the field, he impresses me. So. I'd like to see a little bit more of him. Again, just don't be afraid to switch it up. If somebody's balling out, hey, it's okay. At the end of the day, that if that starter is all about the team, like he's saying he is, if you're getting the win, it doesn't matter. Everybody's happy.
Yeah, and then shoot, with how freaking much we rotate, you're going to get plenty of playing time anyways. Don't let that.
Right.
Don't let that discourage you.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, again, I think the defensive play is important in this game, but the good news is I don't think it's the end-all, be-all. I don't see – first off, they're not holding you to 19 points. It ain't going to happen. No. It ain't going to happen, Paul. they'll be lucky to hold Tennessee under 35, in my opinion. And if they do, it's because Josh Heupel's trying to work the clock late in the game.
And you'll probably be without one of your best players again. And then it'll need to be reiterated after we do score that many points on them that, hey, we did this without Cedric Tillman, who's probably going to be a first or second round draft pick. So, and we know how to utilize a first and second round draft pick, unlike you.
It's a good point. All right, so what's the crucial? Give me your most crucial key to this game for Tennessee.
Got to get off the field on defense.
Defense got to get off the field. Offense get off the field, but on the end zone.
Yeah,
you should be trading out with the PAT team.
Right. Yeah, you should be, shaking hands, slapping asses with the kicker as you get to the sideline.
Yeah, I like that. Every time we scored a touchdown, the umpire would have to stare at Joe Milton and wait for him to get off the field because he would come out to celebrate with everybody.
I love it.
And he would just have to stare him down. So, yeah, I'd like to see Joe Milton on the field more, but after we score touchdowns, because he's celebrating. Yeah.
Yes.
No, I definitely like that. I think similar to yours, I think it's defensive. And you know what? No, I'll go opposite. It's the offensive line. You got to protect Hendon Hooker. You got to give him time. He's going to have to move around in the pocket, so he's got to be aware. He's just going to have to.
Those guys slide and get out of bounds.
Yeah, those guys are going to move you around, but give him areas to work. And I liked what you said on Sunday's episode. If what BJ Ojolari wants to do the most is rush upfield, know where he's coming from, and let's fill those voids.
Yeah,
know where he's coming from, Hendon. You can step up in the pocket. Know where he's coming from, Golish. Let's run back at him.
Yeah, I also think LSU stops the run a lot. They do a good job of it. That front seven's pretty good. I'd like to see Tennessee a little bit more balanced. If they're not, I don't think it's the end all be all, but I'd like to see a little bit more because at some point, whether it's Alabama, Georgia, you're going to have to be able to run the football.
Even Kentucky.
Yeah.
Their front seven's solid.
At some point, you're going to have to run the football. I want to see us getting better at that. It looks like we got a little better as the game went on against Florida. I'd like to see Jabari Small running like he was in that second half against Florida. I think he looked different than he had the entire season. I don't know if that was just Florida. He just got a little giddy up in his step. But hey, let's keep that ball rolling for LSU as well.
Yeah, let's take it to the purple and gold. I like what is it Thacker said? Our secondary has to step up the game, and we need to get pressure on Daniels. I think it's almost on the secondary to allow us to get pressure. Jaden Daniels. It's.
Yeah, I mean, if you're bringing pressure and playing off, you're giving them an easy out. It doesn't make that's a terrible formula.
Yeah, for sure. So.
If you're playing up tight, you're bringing pressure. He's getting the ball out earlier. That's a pick.
Yeah,
or a tip, or
turnovers, man.
We got something.
You mentioned the turnover margin. You said just equal. We need to win one, and I feel like you can with how well Hendon Hooker protects the ball. And I've got to imagine holding on to the football with Princeton Fant's fumble. I know Hendon technically had one against Florida, but it was a turnover on downs anyways. You had Jalen Wright have two early in the season. I got to imagine that has been a point of emphasis. Hendon knows how important it is to keep possession. If he throws picks, if he throws an interception, it's probably an interception. I need to see it. This is the game that I feel like Tennessee can win the turnover battle. It makes sense on paper. You need to go out and do it. That defense has got to do it.
You fumble my football.
Well, hey, Amon St. Brown has not fumbled the football this year since hearing that, or seeing that, or reading that. So, something to it. Yeah, something.
I did see. I think it was yesterday. I think it's Paul Cross. I think he does a podcast. He's an LSU fan. He kind of threw out the argument that he had two arguments that were really dumb to me, but I just want to point them out. His first argument was he was saying that LSU has won the last 5 games. That's cool, but that's over a 16-year period.
Right.
So
very different teams.
It doesn't matter.
Florida won the last 16 of 18.
Yeah, I mean, you won the
Or 16 and 17,
the
sorry.
street killers. That's what we are. So that's why we're wearing gray jerseys today. We're gonna get in or gray uniforms. We're gonna get into that in a second. But yeah, that just doesn't make it. And if your school doesn't have a winning record against Tennessee in the last 20 years, you are a trash program and should just shut it down now.
Vanderbilt, Kentucky,
Exactly.
South Carolina.
South Carolina. Yeah. That's on you. And then he had the audacity to say, well, I'll take Will Rogers over Hendon Hooker any day. Will Rogers? Yeah. He's like, his leadership is second to none. Excuse me, what? God, Hendon Hooker has 0 turnovers. 0. None. Nothing. Nada.
What?
Yeah. I think a lot of it was because Will Rogers has been on his podcast before, but I'm sorry Hendon Hooker isn't going to come on your podcast, bro. If he's going to come on any podcast, it'd be ours.
Shout out.
For the pod. But yeah, I was just like,
Will Rogers has thrown the ball 120 more times, 121 more times than Hendon Hooker.
Yeah,
he has 600 more yards, but again, 121 more times. Hendon Hooker is averaging 10 yards per reception. Will Rogers is averaging 7.3. He's thrown 3 interceptions to 19 touchdowns, but that's all Mississippi State does. That's it.
Yeah, they have
first and goal, throwing the ball. Second and goal, throwing the ball. Third and goal, throwing the ball. Fourth and goal, throwing the ball.
And most of it's behind the line of scrimmage. How are you getting any credit as a quarterback if most of your throws are behind the line of scrimmage?
Yeah, and I'll give him this. He does have a 73% completion rate. That's pretty impressive, throwing the ball 234 times through 5 games. Yeah. Pretty impressive.
2 yards down the field. Yeah, that's like Tom Brady. I mean,
Hendon does have a better QBR. I don't know what QBR means, but he has a better one.
Candy arm.
Hendon Hooker is a Heisman candidate. I don't care how you slice it. You know why he said that, though, right? Not because he's been on the podcast, because they beat him. That's why he said that.
Oh, yeah. He had to hype up Will Rogers, yeah. I mean, any quarterback is going to lead – any quarterback under Mike Leach is going to lead the nation in some statistical category. That's just a fact.
Will Levis has more yards than Hendon Hooker. We're really going to base that and call Will Levis a better quarterback? Will Rogers has also played 5 games, by the way.
How many turnovers does he have?
Will Rogers only has 3.
No, I'm talking about Levis.
Will Levis? Well, he has 4 interceptions and I think 2 fumbles. He might have more than 2 fumbles because he had 2 last week. So at least 2 fumbles.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to sit here and say oh, Will Rogers is a good quarterback, cool, but you can't sit here and say he's better than Hendon Hooker. That's just dumb.
Not with a straight face, you can't.
Yeah, no.
That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. The dumbest thing I've ever heard.
But you do have some injuries. It was announced that Warren Burrell had surgery and will be out the rest of the season. That's unfortunate. I know we had a lot of people kind of in the mentions saying, he hasn't been great. I agree.
But he's been one of your best.
Yeah, you need rotation, you need depth, and he's a veteran. He knows the game. He's played it a ton. I just think that goes a long ways, especially in the SEC. And you just didn't have any room to lose anybody at that position.
No, unfortunately not. I mean, that's the tough part. I agree he's not been the best this season, but it's clear that he's been one of your best.
Yeah, which is
really,
probably sad. I get it.
Yeah, but it is what it is. And I mean, he's made tackles. And anything else, he's made the tackles in front of him.
I just doubt Cedric Tillman's going to play. I know that there's people saying they're optimistic and he's moving around. I just think that's kind of BS.
And he's probably they said 4 to 6 week return time. Well, I mean, that means he started rehabbing, so he probably is moving around. They're probably not wrong about that, but that doesn't mean he's playing.
No, I just doubt he plays, and I do think it is a loss, but I think we showed against Florida that this offense is it's great for players like that, but it's not centered around players like that.
Yeah, for sure.
And I think you got a capable guy in Ramel Keaton that's going to come in and give you plenty of production.
And you still have Brew McCoy, and you still have Jalen Hyatt. So.
Yeah. Give me a Ramel Keaton touchdown. All right, that's what I'm taking. Anytime touchdown, Ramel Keaton. Are we doing it? Prediction time?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. 38-27 falls.
41-20.
Ooh.
Tennessee. That's a stupid prediction. You don't have to tell me. That's a stupid prediction.
That
is a all-Vol prediction.
I mean, you know,
I'm telling you right now,
fans are going to put in those bets before they leave for Baton Rouge, and they're going to wake
gambling's
up
legal
Saturday.
in Louisiana, I'm pretty sure.
Is it? Yes.
I'm pretty sure.
It's about time I travel to a state and I can bet in it.
If not, we can just run over to Lake Charles real quick and gamble at the casino. Actually, there's a casino in Baton Rouge.
That's what kind of made me think that it wasn't legal.
I think it is.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure. We can look it up. Anyways.
Do have a question, too, that
real quick.
Just don't let me forget.
This Tennessee team, Landon, they're different. This Tennessee team is different. They don't lose games they normally lose. That Tennessee normally loses, excuse me. And everything I've seen, this team is ready to take the next step forward. What better than the week coming off the bye week at the name stadium, Death Valley? We do the killing.
Is that where we're kind of wearing a black? We're in black to a funeral?
Yeah, we're in black to their funeral.
Yeah.
We're in black to their funeral.
Out of respect.
Absolutely. We respect the Tigers, but we beat the living crap out of them.
And then we played neck after.
We're going to beat them so bad, PETA is going to be out for Josh Heupel's head after this one.
Yeah, we're going to beat them so bad. The rest of Louisiana, I think most of Louisiana, but the rest of it, including Baton Rouge, will also be below sea level.
Are they? Who? Yeah, agreed.
Baton Rouge is above sea level.
Okay, I didn't know.
Yeah,
I was
it's,
curious.
it's like by like 20 meters. So 20 meters of just
meters.
What? Yeah.
What does that mean? What is that in feet?
Like 56 feet or something like that.
What did you just go European on me for?
Well, you know, the French are down in Louisiana, so
French are, you know what the French are.
They're fried.
They wish. Question, and then we got to talk Smokey Gray uniforms because you mentioned them.
Yeah. Real quick, Ethan Cundiff. I hope I said that right. If I didn't, I'm sorry.
There's no way that you said that right.
It's Cundiff.
Yeah, I just feel like you almost put a T in there. So,
how do y'all think the secondary holds up against an average LSU passing game? We do have D. Williams making his debut. Yeah, I think that's big. He was coming along in spring practice. Apparently, he was a really good JUCO pickup. So, yeah, I think it definitely helps. After the loss of Warren Burrell, you get some added depth with D. Williams. I know he's a really good athlete, so that probably helps. I got to see it.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. And he's probably going to get it. I know he's technically back, but this is his first week back. He probably gets a chance.
Yeah,
he does. He gets a chance.
Right.
I don't know when, but he gets one.
I think the secondary definitely plays better than they did against Florida. How well is that? I don't know. But if Jaden Daniels is the same Jaden Daniels we've seen over the last couple weeks, I'm feeling pretty good.
Yeah.
I don't feel terrible about it.
Why would you?
Yeah.
Why?
And if he wants to keep running too with his scrawny ass, I think Jeremy Banks got something in the middle for him too. So
I'll take Spencer Rattler over Jaden Daniels.
Oh, that's a hot take.
I don't think it is.
I would take Kentucky's backup quarterback who's never thrown a pass in college football over Jaden Daniels.
Will Rogers might be the third quarterback on this depth chart, by the way. I just need to know. It might be. I'm not saying he will be, but he could be the third quarterback on this depth chart.
Could be.
You're an idiot, Paul. Is that his name, Paul?
Yeah, I think so.
You're an idiot, Paul.
Yeah, I just think for those comments, I know some of the baseball players are on this podcast. I just think they need to let's just nip that in the bud, just for that one stupid comment.
Who's his pod? What's his podcast?
It's like off the bench or something like that.
Yeah, he should go back on the bench, Paul.
Yeah.
I feel like calling someone Paul is almost like calling someone buddy or pal. Am I wrong? It kind of has that same tone.
Yeah, Pal and Paul definitely sounds very similar.
This
Dude,
LSU fan tried to buddy me this week, by the way, on Twitter.
Oh, did he? Nice.
Yeah, it's like,
Did you buddy him back?
oh yeah,
Establish
Oh, yeah.
dominance.
oh yeah.
Gray uniforms. Smoky gray. Sorry, not just regular gray. Smoky gray.
Yeah. Listen, I'm a fan of orange and white. I think like most people, but I like smoky grays, and I think this is the best time to utilize them. An away game where you get the chance to wear your primaries.
Can we say how stupid it is that they wear white at home?
Yeah, it's pretty dumb. You think this is soccer? Wrong footy, idiots.
Does basketball do that too? They do
Yes.
that.
Yeah,
That's stupid.
it's very stupid in my opinion.
Yeah.
I don't get it. I don't like it.
Is it a rule? Like I don't. Can the home team just wear whatever they want and the away team has to go opposite?
No, so I believe by rule you have to wear your primaries. I think that LSU has a quote unquote exception. But I think if I remember correctly, I think like the away team, I think Tennessee could have been like, no, we're wearing white. And LSU would have had to wear their purple. I believe. Yeah.
We could have established dominance right off the rip.
I'd rather just piss them off by scoring on them, not before the game. We don't need bulletin board material.
Yeah.
No reason for it.
Here's the thing with the gray uniform. I've missed them. I think they look
I like
great.
'em.
I think the helmets are great.
I like them better than the black. I know that's not the most popular opinion.
Yeah. I mean, I've heard both. I don't really have a preference. I think they're kind of similar. So
I love the white helmet for the black uniforms. I almost hope we don't get black helmets because I like it so much. I love the black outline. In fact, I would love to see the black outline on the helmet with an early 2000s white away uniform with the black outline on the numbers, black lettering.
Yeah.
I think it would look fantastic.
But the smoky gray helmet is
It's such a good helmet.
it's undefeated.
Such a good helmet.
And I know a lot of people were just like, our record and it's Butch Jones. This is a different team. Like, how many times do we have to say this on the show? This is a different ass team. They beat Florida. They got over the hump against Pitt. It's a different team. We're scoring points. It's weird. It was so weird last year when we started scoring. We scored 62 against Missouri.
We score and score and score. And
There's no way Jeremy Pruitt scored 62 in his entire Tennessee career.
Yeah, Jeremy Pruitt wore black cleats. He's afraid to wear smoky grays. He wore black cleats. Get out of here. First off, doesn't black slow you down? Doesn't that make you look slower?
Dude, also, like, no lie, I was in the gym and I literally thought Jeremy Pruitt was next to me. Like, it looks just like him.
Jeremy Pruitt's never seen a gym.
No. That's why I was so shocked. Like, I just stared at him for like 4 minutes.
I don't like that no one responded to my Fat Bear Week text.
Wait, what?
I think we should compete in Fat Bear Week next year.
What's Fat Bear Week? I have no clue what this is.
So this year is Fat Bear Week. I can't remember what national park, but they essentially take pictures of the bears when they come out of hibernation. They're real small, real skinny. And then this week they're tracking them, taking videos and pictures of them at their largest before they go into hibernation. And whoever, I guess, gained the most weight or looks the heaviest, they win Fat Bear Week. I think we should do Fat Bear Week. People want to do Sober October, lose weight, get beach bod. I'm all about that Thanksgiving, Christmas bod.
Okay.
I think we should compete in Fat Bear Week. We weigh in April. Whoever puts the most on, they win.
So we do like the opposite of The Office, when they're like, okay.
Yeah.
I like that. So no tapeworms.
Opposite of that.
Yeah. How do you get? What's the opposite of a tapeworm?
I don't know. We do what those guys did with the fish. Put weights in our. We swap weights.
Yeah. That's good. Yeah, we should do
that. That's what Jeremy Pruitt probably did at his time in Tennessee. But yeah, no, I don't know. Associating that stuff with Butch Jones didn't design the uniforms himself. I know he, was part of getting them on campus. But yeah, I don't know. They're cool. Like you said, the helmets are. The smoky gray helmets are some of the best helmets in college football. Second to the white Tennessee helmets.
Yeah, I like them. I don't have a problem with it. If they want to wear orange, cool. They want to wear white, cool. Gray, black. I just love seeing the balls, and I'm
I'm
so
glad
excited to
this-
go to LSU. I know we're going to be talking a lot of crap to LSU fans, but
all in good fun, by the way.
I couldn't be more excited to be in the stadium.
I hate when people take trash talk too serious. Like, good God.
Yeah, grow
So-
up, Paul.
It's like it's a college football game. Because I know there'll probably be some just stupid LSU fans like there are sometimes Tennessee fans, but come on. We're all here for fun, aren't we? At the end of the day.
Yeah. I have one more thing to say. It takes some balls to finally fire Will Wade after your hand was forced, and then go hire a guy like Brian Kelly.
No one's come back.
Yeah, killed a guy. Kid.
LSU sucks, and they funneled money from they stole money from a children's hospital to pay players. Scumbags.
Nice.
Yeah, scumbags. All of them. I hate
Iowa
LSU.
would never.
Kentucky, not a children's hospital, but they would from a hospital.
Well, I mean, Florida would just. They don't care who they're stealing it from. As long as it's fraud, they're just doing it. Just put it on the card. Bless you, child.
Thank you.
That's kind of all I got for LSU. I like your prediction. You said 41-20, right?
41-20.
Okay. Is there any kind of stat predictions? I said Ramel Keaton anytime touchdown.
Hendon Hooker, over 325. Easy. Cash it.
He has to beat Robbie Ashford. 337.
Yeah.
Let's get 350.
I'm an idiot, so I should have just done it. I should have just gone full blown idiot. 365. Full blown idiot. 365.
Yeah. If this makes you feel better with the secondary, Jaden Daniels was 8 for 20 against Auburn.
Brian Harson's probably getting taken out back and shot next week. The wife is only keeping him alive so long.
I mean, if we're being honest, LSU probably kept him alive a little bit.
Good point. No, wait. No, this week, it's in Athens. I was going to say, this is the weird week where an Auburn coach keeps his job he gets a big extension. He plays Georgia close, too. He beats Alabama this year.
You think he'd get an extension for that?
For beating Alabama? Yes. Have you met Auburn fans? 100%.
God.
That's the only reason Gus Malzahn was there so long. He beat Alabama.
Yeah, I guess you're right. Unbelievable.
Yeah, no, I fully kind of believe that. I'll be honest. We talked about Alabama being beatable.
Fine. That's fine. I do like. I just love Tennessee's been down for so long that I just love the downfall of other teams now. I just get so much joy out of it.
It is fun. I get why people hate us. It is fun.
Yeah.
Very much fun. Speaking of people hating us, let's talk some SEC baseball.
Yeah, dude.
New schedule. The SEC messed up the first one.
Yeah.
Hey, at least they fixed it. That would have been the most
fix
SEC thing of all time. If they'd been like, no, this is it.
But I would like to see a 6-week stretch that's tougher than Tennessee's 6-week stretch. Texas A&M, at LSU, Florida at home, at Arkansas, Vanderbilt, Mississippi State. I mean, that is a gauntlet.
Yeah.
I mean, there's probably you could have 4 or 5 teams that are probably top 5 in that. LSU's definitely going to be there. Arkansas is probably there. Vandy, Florida, Mississippi State could be there as well. So yeah, it's just that's rough. And especially the 2 toughest teams probably in that our way.
Yeah.
One thing I do want to do while we're in LSU, I got to see the box. I need to see it at least once. You don't want to see the box?
I don't care.
Whatever, dude.
No, I would. No, I don't blame you. I'd like to.
But yeah, Tennessee. I don't know if you saw Eric Canes kind of sit down with with Chase Burns, Chase Dolander, and Drew Beam. Is really cool. It just got me a little excited. I kind of miss baseball a little bit. Playing
you should
LSU just brings up great memories over the past couple of years. You have Drew Gilbert's walk-off that barely goes over the fence. We had 2 walk-offs in the same day because we had to finish a game. Evan Russell hitting 3 home runs against them. We beat them at like 3 a.m. in the SEC tournament this past year. We swept Pulmonary, and then we sent him out in the Super Regionals with his head between his legs. So, yeah, I think
I just
there's
love
some,
too about how upset LSU fans and really baseball fans got. They're like, "You Tennessee fans shouldn't have booed him. They should have respected him." Blah, 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 blah. This is a competition, my friends.
Yeah.
You're an opposing coach. Screw you.
Yeah, it's also baseball. No one gives a rat's ass what you've done or how you've done it. If we beat you, we beat you.
And I'll boo you.
Yeah, you had 9 innings to make sure the outcome didn't turn out that way. So,
Yeah, you beat me, I'll stand up. If you beat me and you're respectable, I'll stand up and clap for you. You don't beat me, screw you.
yeah.
I'll just beat you.
Yep. And they're in fall practice right now, so they got actually they have a scrimmage, and we won't be back probably in time for it. It's at 1 on Sunday.
We definitely will not be back in time for
No.
that.
It sucks. It kind of worked out that way, but it is what it is. They'll scrimmage Wake Forest, and then on November 6th, they head to Jackson, Tennessee, and will take on Memphis. And that stadium of the Rocket Billies, I think,
I'm not sure. It's
is
already sold out.
completely sold out.
I
Yep.
don't know how that, because I don't think it costs to go to the one
Yeah,
in
it was
Austin.
like $10.
Okay.
Yeah.
Does it cost to get to this one on
No,
Sunday?
it is free for Sunday. So if you can be there, go support this team. Coming off a 50 win season, 57 win season. I'm sorry. A ton of expectations. I know they lost 10 guys to the draft, but they got plenty of bats in that lineup. Jared Dickey, Blake Burke, Christian Moore. You got some transfers in Maui Ahuna, Zane Denton. Griffin Merritt was the AAC Player of the Year and transferred to Tennessee. So got some dudes. Kyle Booker, another guy. Shout out. And then they
Friend of the
got
pod.
and then they got Xander Seacrest. I'll go ahead and mention him before I get to
Friend of
the
the pod.
other pitchers. Yeah, and Dolander, Beam, Burns, Halverson, Zach Joyce.
All the Drews.
Not Ben, Zach Joyce. So they got some dudes. In Tennessee, they proved last year that they can reload, and I expect the same thing this year.
Yeah, and it is going to be a little bit tougher. It may take some growing pains early in the season, but like you said, a lot of dudes still left on this roster. A lot of dudes that joined this roster this offseason. And I mean, this coaching staff has shown that what they can do. And another thing is Tennessee played a lot of guys throughout the season.
Yeah.
It's not like these dudes just sat on the bench all year.
Yeah, for sure.
So, I mean, and I'm not even talking about just in February and March. I mean,
I forgot to mention Sewell's back too, baby. Gator
Sewell is
killer.
back.
Florida doesn't have a chance.
I know Christian Moore hit that home run against Florida to go ahead. And then
In
the 11th, then who had the game-winning out over the wall? Was that?
That was Christian Scott. He's back.
It was Christian Scott. Okay.
Yep.
So we're talking about guys playing an SEC play. I mean, for sweeps. So, yeah, it's not guys that just played in February and March.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of dudes left on this roster. A lot of dudes.
Super excited with some new pieces. That bullpen and starting pitching is going to be second to none, and that's where the expectations come. I think you got to reload and build up those expectations for the lineup, but that pitching staff comes in with a buttload of expectations.
Oh, yeah.
And it's like, LSU's got all these dudes, Dylan Cruz, Trey Morgan, Tommy Tanks, they've reloaded and destroyed that transfer portal. But here's the thing, you're going to beat Tennessee, you got to score some runs.
Yeah. Good luck.
Yeah, easier said than done.
Good luck. All right, college football. I'm not even excited to talk about college football this week. Just brutal. Brutal so far for me. A few lines I'm okay with. I like.
I got
You had
one
a-
I want to ask you about.
Okay, you want to go ahead and ask, and then we'll run through some of these.
Kentucky, South Carolina, it's -6.5 now. I know Will Levis's status is up in the air. Does Will Levis really change you betting on that line?
I don't think it does at 6.5. That's a touchdown.
That's my thing. I got it at 6.5, and I don't care who the quarterback is. You can give it to Chris Rodriguez 800 times, and I think they beat him by 3 touchdowns.
Yeah, that's the. I just Spencer Rattler's going to have a hard time this weekend with that offensive line.
Yep.
So, no, I don't think it does. Unfortunately, for them, I don't think it does.
Yep. Agreed.
So.
Another big game, TCU Kansas.
I just don't love this line. I don't know.
Really, I love it.
You like TCU or surely you like TCU?
Oh yeah, I do.
It's just I don't know. It's one of those weird things that I feel like Kansas is going to actually surprise me and stay undefeated. I don't know.
Who did they beat last week? Iowa State. They beat them 14-11.
Oh yeah, and it should have gone into overtime. That's not saying Kansas should have lost necessarily, but the Iowa State kicker just absolutely choked.
I mean, I just think TCU's playing lights out. I think Max Duggan or Duggan, however you say it, is insane.
Oh yeah, no, I agree. I like TCU as a football team a lot. I don't feel the same way about Kentucky and South Carolina as I do about TCU and Kansas. The only thing, and it's the lines. I think it's 7. It's the same.
Okay.
I don't know. It's a weird one for me. If you made me pick, if you put it on the chopping block, I would take TCU to cover.
Okay.
Yeah.
Arkansas, Mississippi State. Lines at -9.5.
Is KJ Jefferson still up in the air?
I think he's playing.
I think I take Arkansas to cover.
I think I do too.
I think Mississippi State to win, but I think Arkansas to cover.
Yeah, I think they keep it close.
Yeah, I think so.
I'd try to get it at 10.
Yeah, that's fair. Just take it at 9.5 then. Do it.
I think we'll do it.
Do we take Memphis to beat Houston?
God, yes.
All right. What's tomorrow?
Here's another one. Ohio State, Michigan State. Ohio State -27.
No way. No way they beat them by 28. No way.
Dude, Michigan State is terrible.
I'm aware. That's so many points.
There's a lot of points.
Speaking of a lot of points, Alabama favored by what, 12? No. What are they favored by?
24.
Yeah, I was about to say 12's too low.
Well, Max Johnson isn't playing. He's been ruled out.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I think that's the big line I touch if I take a big line this week.
24, yeah.
Yeah.
Even if Bryce Young doesn't play, I feel confident.
Here's one I love. And I hate that I love it because it's still a lot of points. Ole Miss only 17-point favorites over Vanderbilt.
I like that.
Yeah. They might beat them by 50.
What's that? The over is 61? I kind of like that over.
Maybe. I don't know. That's tough. That's a lot of points for. I don't think Vanderbilt will score much at all.
Utah, UCLA. Utah is -3.5.
Man, after the week Utah had last week, this could be a trap game, right?
Well, UCLA had a really good win against Washington too.
Yeah, no, UCLA. I think UCLA kind of looks like they have it figured out, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. I'll take Utah.
Okay.
I gave you all the reasons I shouldn't, so I will.
Texas Tech, Oklahoma State minus 9.5. I wouldn't touch that
That's
line.
too many points. Yeah, it's too
yeah.
many points. I also wouldn't take Texas Tech to cover either. So
You like Tennessee LSU minus 3?
I love it.
Or do you like
I love it.
Tennessee to win the first quarter plus 100?
I love it.
I think that would be my lock of the year if I were to bet on it.
I love it. What about Oregon State minus 7 over Stanford? Give some time to put that one in.
Yeah, I like that.
Here's another one I think I like, and I might just take money line on this one. Florida State is plus 3 to NC State.
NC State sucks.
NC State's terrible. Florida State's not incredible. They're a better team than NC State.
Damn it. I got another one that I kind of like too, and I might just take it money line. Kansas State minus 2 over Iowa State.
Yeah, no, for sure. Kansas State's.
I think it's something I need to stop doing. I need to stop betting on freaking West teams.
Yeah, probably. That's probably a good thing to do.
Georgia beat Auburn by 30.
I'm not touching that. So many points. I don't trust Georgia's offense anymore.
Yeah, it's true.
James Madison, 11-point favorites over Arkansas State. Is James Madison a playoff contender? Even though they can't play in the playoffs this year?
Can they not?
They just moved up from FCS. They can't play in the postseason at all.
Why?
I think you have to wait 2 or 3 year waiting period before you can play in the playoffs. I don't know. I don't get the rule. It's dumb.
That is the dumbest thing I've ever heard of.
Yep.
Let the boys play. I guess they. Well, most of them probably wouldn't make it anyway. But so why is that a rule?
I don't know. It's almost like you should be allowed more so somehow than
right.
You should almost be allowed to go to a bowl if you're like 5-7 in your first year at FBS level. I don't know. It's dumb.
USC minus 13 over Washington State.
I do like it. I just don't know enough to take it.
Yeah.
I would
like
take
a big teaser week.
I wouldn't take Washington State to cover. That's for sure. Florida minus 11 over Missouri.
Yeah, I don't love that either after what Missouri just did to Georgia.
I don't love it either. I just don't know if they can do it 2 weeks in a row though.
Yeah.
What about with Quinn Ewers back? Texas minus 9 over Oklahoma.
I got it at minus 6.5.
Did you? That's why it's going up. You suck. But
yeah, I liked it. I liked it before.
Hey, you suck.
Hudson Card. I like him with Hudson Card. I definitely like him with Quinn Ewers.
What was wrong with Quinn Ewers? Did they ever say, is it dislocated shoulder? What was it?
Yeah, I think that's what it was.
Okay. That's what it looked like. But you never know.
Also, Oklahoma is ass.
Yeah, they're terrible. Brent Venables
we would beat them by 3 touchdowns.
Brent Venables is terrible.
Yeah.
And he's such, dude, I hate it. I know people love watching the kickback coaches. You're a grown man and you can't stay off the field of play.
Yeah.
I hate it. Dude, there's a video of a touchdown against USC. Who'd they play last week?
Oregon State?
Maybe. Lincoln Riley's almost at the numbers. Get off the field. It's absurd to me that
Arizona State, sorry. Oregon State was the week before.
Football coach, it drives me nuts that football coaches can't stay off the field.
What's that? Buzz Williams, he's always on the court.
Yeah, he's in the way.
Yeah.
He's borderline Mike Tomlining these guys. Oh, it's just so frustrating. You're a grown ass man. Act like one.
Yeah, the fact that you'd need a get back coach, it was funny, but now it's just like do you really have to have one? Like that seems.
The only funny part of it is watching another grown man follow another grown man and then try to time it. That's the only funny part. And then you realize that there's a grown man being treated like a toddler, and you're like, what is going on? Insane. I'm going to follow you around like this at the tailgate on Saturday.
I love the emphasis on the grown man.
I don't know, man. It's like insane.
You just give me one more grown man.
You're a grown-ass man.
Oh, that's great.
I think that's such an insult. Like, it's never positive. You're never like, dude, you're a grown man. It's always like an insult. Like, you're a grown man.
Hey, you want to know something else?
Yeah, sure, I would.
We're going to be up in 7 hours.
Yeah, I know. I'm ready for bed. I was ready for bed as soon as I got out of the shower, like an hour ago.
Yeah, I
Hour and a half ago.
still got to take a shower.
I'm stopping for coffee first thing in the morning, just so we know.
Oh, when you were over a second ago, did you see my new sink?
No, I saw where John Rollins shout out had to come over and fix it though. So
Yeah, he did. Shout out, man's man.
I think I
since
did
we're giving
Ravens
shout outs, Ham and Goodies. Appreciate y'all. Friend of the pod. Crotch shot.
Ham and Goodies. They're the best. Go visit them. They have a bunch of locations. Cedar Bluff, North Shore. Let me pull this up. Landon got me off kilter here. They've got one on Gay Street. Make sure you check the hours before you go there. I believe that's it.
Hey,
Yes,
strawberry,
that
the
is
best
it.
cookie I've ever eaten in my life.
That's bold, man. That's
I know
that's
the lemon
surprising.
gets a really good rep, and it's fantastic
It's
too.
the best.
But,
It's the best cookie on planet Earth, Landon. I mean,
but strawberry just freaking hits.
let me make a point about the lemon though. You don't really like lemons,
No,
and you like the lemon cookie.
yeah.
That's how good they are. That's my
Yeah,
point.
I agree with that. But that strawberry, dude, I would. Like if there was some right here, I'd destroy them right now. I don't eat past 8. I would destroy 5 of them things right now.
Well, yeah. I mean, that's another thing. You can't just eat one.
I know. That's
Can't just eat one. Shout out Ham and Goodies. They're the best. Can't wait to have some more at the Alabama tailgate. It's going to be good. Make sure you check them out. Like I said, Cedar Bluff, North Shore, Gay Street, whichever is closest to you. Stop by there. Get you a dozen or 2 or 3 or 4.
Yeah.
That's what I buy everyone as like Christmas gifts. Like people I don't like really know. I get them Ham and Goodies cookies.
there you go. Yeah, that's awesome.
So,
It's better than those like 10 jars with those gross cookies in it.
yeah, like the not so great ones. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is kind of a pro move that I started doing last year. Buy your like if you live in an apartment, buy your like maintenance guy a Thanksgiving and Christmas gifts. Get him Ham and Goodies cookies. They never get anything from anybody. You get them like a gift card, but trust me, they're gonna love Ham and Goodies cookies. I got my mailman. I see my mailman a lot, working from home and stuff. Do you not?
You sound like such an old man.
Do you not like see him? I just happen to see him, just like around the house. Like you go outside to get something, or like taking out the trash. You don't bump into him.
No, not really.
Really? Huh. Oh well, mine also has to. My mailbox is on my door too. I don't know why.
Okay.
He has to get out of the truck to come put our mail away.
God, I bet he hates your house.
If I owned the house, I would definitely move it. But that's beside the point. So I mean, I'll talk to him, and this is a new one. I haven't given it to him, but then I lived in the apartment, and the mailbox was right next to like 2 doors down from my door, and so I got to know that mailman too. I mean, not on like a first name basis, but like, hey, how you doing? Get him Ham and Goodies cookies.
Hell yeah.
UPS driver. If you need to get to know your UPS driver with how much Raven orders Amazon.
No. Me and him are not friends.
You should.
He's the root of my problems.
I don't think you understand what a root is. I think you have more problems with Jeff Bezos than you do the UPS guy.
Okay, yeah, that's probably.
He's just he's the final destination.
He's the messenger.
He is,
and I want to shoot the messenger.
Speaking of shooting, have you seen that new Christmas movie that's coming out this year? Or not a Christmas movie, I guess, but it's Santa Claus, and like he comes to a house that's getting robbed. Have you not seen the trailer for this? It looks awesome.
Is it the guy from Stranger Things?
I don't know. I'm gonna send you the trailer right now.
I
mean,
think
it's Santa Claus in a shooting movie, in an action movie.
I think it's Hopper. Is Santa Claus?
Really?
If we're thinking about the same thing.
I just sent it to you.
Violent Night, yeah, that's it.
Really? That's Hopper, like kid from Stranger Things?
Hopper is not the kid. He's the cop.
Oh, who do I think the kid is? What's his name? He looks like a Hopper. The curly headed.
Dustin?
Maybe he just looks like a
Dusty
Hopper.
Bun?
He just looks like a Hopper.
Do you watch Stranger Things?
I watched the first season. I haven't watched.
Oh, that's why you're just out of the loop.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah, whatever. Dude.
Oh. Shut up.
Stupidity.
Also, hey, I was thinking we were ending the show.
Guys, if you're out and about in Baton Rouge Friday night,
just kidding.
Saturday morning, let us know. We'd love to hang out. We have literally no plans.
None, zero.
Just happy to be there. So can't wait to be there, and we'll find a place. But you want us to stop by? We'd love to do that.
I've got some
beers,
koozies.
Got koozies, yeah.
Look at this that I saw. This is so I sent it to Emily, and I was like, "Can I propose you with this? Is this I don't know if this is Stupidity. Swarovski crystal mini football helmet.
Hell yeah!
Who would buy that?
You'd be surprised.
I would be surprised, but I stand by that.
Also, there is a picture that LSU hates Christmas.
Yeah, and it's accurate.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
Because they steal money from Children's Hospital, so they can't buy Christmas for the kids.
Stupidity is the guy. I think he was a politician saying like, "Oh, gates open at 9 a.m. Tennessee has no clue what they're getting into." You think they're the only fan base that drinks?
I mean, he's right. They are degenerates.
I mean, you should see my garage full of coolers right now.
And we're taking a lot down with us.
Yeah.
So, unless you didn't hear that. Unless you're supposed to. Then you heard that. I've got, apparently an A&M fan went on the Paul Weinbaum show and said that a hitman is a lot cheaper than a $95 million buyout.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd make that public. But
I don't know if I would either. Then again, the guy that poisoned Toomer's trees, Toomer's Corners, he called Paul Feinbaum immediately and just admitted to it. Is Paul Feinbaum a CIA operative?
Yeah, what is it about Paul Feinbaum that makes people tell the truth? Is there like some you dial the number, like truth serum gets stuck in your neck or something? Like what is going on?
Dumb. I just saw my picture with Bucky. Dude, Bucky was the best.
That's kind of all I got for Stupidity, other than Henry To'oTo'o being on the graphic for third Saturday in October for Alabama.
They edited out his Tennessee band. That's the same picture.
Really?
Yeah.
What a
yup.
I hope the first play they just like line up in the I formation and just hand it off to Jeremy Banks and let him just run over his ass. I'd love nothing more.
What about Nebraska canceling the Bussin' Bowl, Nebraska, Michigan? They told Bussin' with the boys they can't do it.
Why?
Is this the wussification of America?
Why did they wait? So what is the Bussin' Bowl again? I don't know.
So Taylor Wan went to Michigan, obviously.
Correct.
Will Crompton went to Nebraska. So they were gonna, I guess, just show up and like do but like it wasn't anything real. It was just, I mean, quote unquote real. But they were, I think, just gonna call it the Bussin' Bowl. And then apparently someone from Nebraska texted Will and was like, "Hey, this isn't a good time." Yeah, probably not a good time because you're gonna get the brakes beat off of you.
Right. Also, like, what else would you call it? And can't they just do it anyway?
Right. I just show up. Who cares? F them.
Yeah, I mean, like
It's a very Derek Dooley move.
Yeah, it's weird.
Here I've got one. My first season as a running back at Tennessee and Road to Glory in NCAA 14. Shout out. We won a national championship my second year. So we finished 12-1 with a 42-6 win over Mississippi State in the SEC championship game, and I finished 5th after that. Didn't get to go to the national championship. LSU 10-2 was number 2. Notre Dame was 10-2, number 3, and Texas was number 4, 11-1.
Who did you lose to?
Georgia the week I became Oregon. We lost to Oregon, sorry, and I wasn't the starting running back yet either, which sucks. All I did was return. We lost 28-21 too, and Oregon was like 9th at the time. Mississippi State beat LSU, and they got to play in the national championship game. They didn't even make it to the SEC championship game. They got to play in the national championship game.
Yeah, I mean, you wouldn't have even made the college football playoff.
Correct.
I mean, I was about to say, maybe the college football playoff is good for that reason, but it wouldn't have helped you at all.
I was irate. Irate. Yeah.
That's all I got for stupidity.
That's it. And you need to remind me to show you the roster because whoever made it, I guess I don't know what they did, but like Warren Burrell's a running back. Kenneth George Jr. is a wide receiver. Joe Milton is a quarterback, but he's the backup. No, Joe Milton maybe might be a quarterback. I don't know. I'm trying to remember. No, Joe Milton is a starting quarterback, in Justin Worley's body on that game.
Nice.
Mm-hmm. God, Trevon Flowers is a wide receiver, and he is Pig Howard. It's very weird. I don't know who made the roster. I don't even know how that roster got downloaded. And then I played a play now game. Just played LSU, and it was the 2000 roster. I think it was very strange.
Like Jamarcus Russell.
I don't even know who played for LSU. I honestly don't even remember, but it was Casey Clausen. Who else is on that team? It might not even been 2000 roster. I'm trying to think.
Bobby Graham.
I don't even think Bobby. Oh, I didn't. He might have been on that team. See, I'm trying to remember now who all was on it. I can't remember. I should have taken more pictures because I don't think it was a 2000 roster. Now I'm thinking about it. I can't remember. All right. Well, that's it. I'm not going to stay up until midnight playing NCAA tonight because 4 a.m. wake up call, baby.
Gotta crush a Dr. Pepper and get in bed.
Oh, I got this water to crush before I get in bed.
Nice.
Do you have waters, by the way, still?
No. Maybe.
Okay.
I don't know.
I was going to grab some for the road. Road dogs.
Yeah, I don't think so.
That's fine. All right. Well, guys, see you all in Louisiana.
Yeah, we'll be there around 3 o'clock. Going to go find a bar, maybe get some dinner somewhere. So hit us up. Can't wait. LSU sucks. We're going to win. Painted orange. We're bringing the boat in, and we out.